Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Vanta and Bore English podcast. I'm Vantha, and I'm so happy you're here with us again today. Every time you come back to practice English with us, you're taking a real step toward fluency, and we're really proud of you for that.
And I'm Bori. And yes, we're honestly excited to be here with you today. We know you could be doing anything right now, relaxing, scrolling your phone, watching something else, but you chose to practice English with us, and that means a lot. Today's episode is going to be fun, helpful, and very practical. We're talking about something our listeners always ask about: how to make your brain think in English naturally.
Exactly. Many learners say the same thing. I understand English, I know vocabulary, I can make simple sentences, but my brain doesn't think in English. I always translate in my head. And that's totally normal at first. Everyone starts with translating. But at some point, translation becomes slow, tiring, and stressful. And to speak naturally, you need to think directly in English.
Yes, and today we're going to show you how to do that step by step through conversation, practice, examples, and lots of repetition. We're not just giving you advice, we're modeling how your brain should sound inside your head. Because the more you hear natural English, the more your brain copies it.
Before we jump into the deep conversation, let's just remind you that this podcast is here to help you speak, think, and feel confident in English. We speak slowly, clearly, and naturally so you can shadow us and repeat after us. And if this is your first time listening, welcome. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and enjoy learning.
Okay, let's get into the topic. Today's question is simple: how can you make your brain think in English? And the answer is also simple. You need daily exposure, daily micro conversations, daily habits, and daily practice inside your mind. And the good news is you can do this alone at home, while walking, while cooking, while cleaning, while showering, while exercising, anywhere.
Yes, and many learners think speaking English requires a partner, but thinking in English is something you can do alone. In fact, most fluency happens alone, not in conversations with others. It happens in your head. It happens in moments no one sees. It happens when you start describing your world in English, even silently.
Let's start with something simple. I want you to imagine you just woke up, your eyes open. Instead of thinking in your first language, try thinking like this: I am waking up. The room is bright. I feel tired, but I will get up. I stretch my arms. I sit on my bed. That's thinking in English. And it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be simple and consistent.
Yes, and the secret is using everyday English, not complicated grammar. Fluency begins with small sentences repeated many times, like I go to the bathroom, I wash my face, the water is cold, I brush my teeth, I look in the mirror. Just simple moment by moment narration.
And don't worry if the sentences are short. Native speakers think in short sentences too. Your brain works best with small, clear thoughts.
Now, let's model a short thinking practice for everyone. I'll describe a morning routine and you follow along in your head. Ready? Let's go. I wake up. I open my eyes. I feel the sunlight. I sit up slowly. I stand. I walk to the bathroom. I turn on the water. I wash my face. I feel fresh.
And notice how natural that sounds. No complicated grammar, no pressure, no stress. Just simple English. And the more you do this, the more automatic it becomes. Your brain loves patterns. When you repeat a pattern enough times, the brain begins doing it on autopilot. And that's when you stop translating.
Let's talk about that feeling when your brain automatically switches to English. That moment when you suddenly realize you're thinking directly in English. It's honestly one of the best feelings. Many learners describe it like a small click in their mind. It feels smooth and natural. And today's episode will help you get closer to that moment.
Now, let's talk about why your brain doesn't think in English yet. It's not because you're bad at English. It's not because you're slow. It's not because you lack talent. The only reason is your brain has more experience in your native language. That's it. Your native language has thousands of hours of input. English doesn't yet.
Yes, and that's why listening to conversations like this podcast is powerful. You're giving your brain English input in a natural, friendly, human way, and that input becomes the building blocks for your thoughts.
Let's do another exercise. This time, imagine you're in your kitchen. I'll guide you, and you think in English with me. I walk into the kitchen. I open the fridge. It's cold. I take out the milk. I open the bottle. I pour the milk. I drink. The milk is sweet.
These kind of short practices train your mind to form English sentences instantly. And the more you do this, the faster you start thinking in English without effort.
Now let's talk about shadowing. Shadowing is one of the fastest ways to train your brain. You listen to someone speaking English, like us, and you repeat along with them at the same time. You copy the rhythm, the pronunciation, the emotion, and your brain learns like a child. Children don't learn by studying grammar. They learn by copying.
Let's shout out together right now. Repeat after us. I'll say a sentence and you repeat. I can think in English.
I am training my mind.
I don't need to translate.
I can speak naturally.
Great job. Shadowing works because it forces your brain to create English sounds quickly and automatically. The more automatic this becomes, the more your brain begins to think in English.
Another key to thinking in English is emotional connection. If you feel something while speaking or listening, your brain remembers it better. That's why storytelling is important. Let's create a mini story you can follow in your mind.
Now, let's move into developing habits. The best way to make your brain think in English is to build a small daily habit, not a big one, just something simple. For example, every morning, speak 3 sentences in English, like, today will be a good day. I will learn something new. I feel ready.
Or every night, think about your day in English before sleeping. I woke up early. I worked hard. I learned new words. I talked to a friend. I feel good. These small routines train your brain consistently.
Let's model a conversation that helps the audience practice thinking fluently.
What do you usually do in the morning to train your English brain?
I usually describe what I'm doing. When I make coffee, I think I boil the water. I smell the coffee. I pour it slowly. When I take a shower, I think the water is warm. I feel relaxed, and it helps so much.
I do something similar. I talk to myself in English when I cook. Like, I slice the tomatoes, I fry the eggs, I turn off the stove. It sounds simple, but it trains your brain every day.
And sometimes I imagine conversations. For example, if I'm walking outside, I imagine someone asking me, "How are you?" And I answer in my mind, "I'm good, thanks. I'm just taking a walk."
Yes, imaginary conversations are powerful, and you don't need to be perfect. You just need to practice.
Let's guide our listeners through an imaginary conversation they can think inside their heads.
Okay, imagine someone asks you, "What are you doing today?" You answer in your mind, "I'm practicing English. I'm trying to think in English. I want to improve my speaking."
And imagine they ask, "Why do you want to learn English?" You answer, "I want to communicate. I want new opportunities. I want confidence."
Good. Now let's talk about a powerful technique, switching languages in your mind. If you catch yourself thinking in your native language, gently switch to English. For example, if you think, "I'm hungry," switch it to English. "I'm hungry. I want something to eat."
Yes, switching is important. It's okay to catch yourself thinking in your language. Just switch. It trains your mind like a muscle.
Another technique is creating English zones. For example, your kitchen becomes the English zone where you always think in English, or your bathroom, or your bed. Choose one place and make it your thinking in English place.
For me, it's the shower. I always think in English in the shower. What about you?
For me, it's when I walk outside. The rhythm of walking helps my brain create English sentences easily.
Now, let's move to a bigger technique, describing your feelings in English. When you feel happy, say it. When you feel tired, say it. When you feel stressed, say it. I feel tired today. I feel excited today. I feel lazy. Emotions help English stick in your memory.
Let's guide listeners through emotional thinking. Repeat after us in your mind. I feel calm.
I feel focused.
I feel ready to learn.
I feel confident.
Great. Now let's model a longer conversation that feels like a real podcast so learners hear natural English.
Bori, what was one English phrase you used a lot when you were learning?
I always said, let me try, because whenever I didn't know how to say something, I tried anyway, and that helped me think in English more often.
Yes, and for me, it was it's okay. Whenever I made mistakes, I said, it's okay. And that helped my brain relax.
Relaxation is important. If you feel stressed, your brain blocks English, but if you feel relaxed, English flows.
Let's do a short relaxation practice with English thinking. Breathe in slowly. Think, I am calm. Breathe out slowly. Think, I can learn. Again, breathe in, I am calm. Breathe out, I can learn.
Good job. Thinking in English becomes easier when your mind is peaceful.
Now, let's talk about environment. Your environment can help you think in English. For example, change the language on your phone to English. Label items in your house. Watch short English videos. Listen to English songs.
Yes, and talk back to the videos. If someone in the video says, "How are you today?" answer, "I'm good." Even if they can't hear you, it trains your mind.
And talk to people in English when possible, even simple things. But the goal of today's episode is to train your brain alone without needing anyone.
Let's give our listeners another practice. This time, imagine you're at a store. Think, I walk into the store, I look at the products, I choose something. I put it in my basket, I go to the counter, I pay, I leave. Simple, everyday English.
Now picture yourself cleaning your room. Think, I pick up the clothes. I fold them. I sweep the floor. I open the window. Fresh air comes in.
These mini scenarios help your brain practice without stress.
Now let's talk about reading and listening. When you read or listen in English, try to think about what you see or hear in English. Don't translate everything. Just understand the idea.
For example, if you hear, she is walking her dog, imagine her walking the dog. Don't translate, just feel the meaning.
Yes, fluency is about feeling meaning, not translating words.
Let's give listeners one more story to practice thinking.
Imagine you're traveling. You arrive at a beautiful place. The sky is blue, the air is fresh. You smile. You say, "This is amazing." You walk around, you take pictures, you enjoy the moment.
Good. Thinking with imagination is powerful.
Before we wrap up, let's do a recap. But naturally, like a conversation.
So today we talked about training your brain to think in English.
Yes, we covered describing your daily actions,
Emotional reaction,
shadowing,
imaginary conversations,
switching languages gently,
creating English zones.
and practicing with simple sentences every day.
Thinking in English is not magic, it's training, small training daily.
And you can do it alone, anywhere, anytime.
Now, before we finish, let's connect personally with our listeners.
If you're listening, we want you to know you're not alone in your English journey. We've been where you are, we understand the struggle.
And we believe in you. You can train your brain. You can think in English. You can become fluent.
And this week, try this simple challenge. Think in English for 5 minutes every day.
Just 5 minutes. Describe your actions, your feelings, or your plans.
You can do it.
Thank you for listening,
See you in the next episode.
and keep thinking in English every day.